they weren't going to be denied tonight. A couple of game thoughts. I mean, tough sledding running football. That's a tough defense against the run, and we couldn't get much going there. I guess in the end we broke a few, but for about three and three quarters of the game, we really struggled to run the ball. I thought Travis threw the ball pretty good. Had some good numbers, nearly 300 yards. Special teams was just atrocious. Almost lost the game single-handedly, special teams wise, and that's not like us. We got to get that fixed. We gave up probably 15 points on special teams with safety and punt return for a touchdown, or the kickoff return for a touchdown, punt return to set up a field goal, and so our defense didn't let them in the end zone. Bottom line, our defense gave up nothing, and so very proud of that. They were collectively the player of the game for us. You know, the front four really starts up front. I thought our defensive front played outstanding, and linebackers did a nice job secondary. Really, the whole defense. Credit the whole defense. So it's a good win. We're halfway through. We are now 2 games up in the loss column, I believe, in the South, which is a good position to be right now. But there's a lot of football left. But right now, we couldn't ask for a better spot going into week 7. So we'll enjoy this for a day, and we'll get on the next opponent on Monday morning and get ready for them. Questions?
Before the game, in your press conference this week, you talked about how you didn't throw the ball enough against ASU last year.
Mm-hmm.
And in this game, Wilson threw for 297 yards and attempted 36 passes. Was that kind of a game plan to go in to throw the ball a lot because you didn't last year?
Well, because the run defense is so tough, and last year we should have done the same thing, and we didn't. And you don't want to make the same mistake twice. And so, when they're crowding the box and bringing everybody, they're just trading off, bringing it from the boundary to the field, They just keep bringing it from different locations, essentially the same blitz, just from different sides. And so, if you can pick it up and get the ball out, you can do some damage, and we did. We did almost in the 200 or 300 yards, which is a good night throwing for us.
What did Travis do so well in the first half? He was like 14 of 18.
They just did a good job of going through his read progression and picking up where he needed to go with the football. The offensive line did a nice job protecting. It starts up front. If you don't give him time, you're not going to do anything in the throwing game. And so, offensive line was playing well. Receivers were making plays. Scotty had a great catch. Ciale, and we had some guys making plays.
Kyle, you were trailing going into the fourth quarter. The momentum seemed to be with Arizona State. You guys haven't really trailed much this season. What was kind of the mentality on the sidelines and going into that fourth quarter?
That we were not going to be denied. I mean, the guys had a purpose and they were on a mission, and they were not going to be denied in that fourth quarter. And that's part of we have a plan to win, and that's part of the equation of the plan to win is to win the fourth quarter. And we did that in a big way tonight.
How safety? Who called the play in the return?
That's a play that we had put in. And it's a collaborative effort. It was there. I mean, it was there, but we didn't execute the throw. And so that's just being aggressive and playing. Just keeping the pedal down. And if it would have, the throw would have got where it needed to be, we had a chance for a big one. But the ball was a little bit slick. It was barely raining, so we didn't think a wet ball would be a factor. And, the throw just wasn't what it needed to be.
Coach, can you kind of address Chase Hansen's situation? Obviously, we saw him playing some safety tonight.
Right. Yeah, we lost Andre Godfrey to an injury last week, and we're thin there. And right now he's the third quarterback. And if he can help us win, he's on a lot of special teams. If you noticed that as well, he's playing on 2 or 3 of the special teams. And so you play your good players. He's one of our good players, and we need to play him and get him on the field. And that's what we're doing. He's still number 3 QB, emergency quarterback. He's still staying tuned up for that. But you'll see him play in the secondary as the season goes on.
So you'd say he's a quarterback first?
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. But again, he can help us win in another capacity. And since he's not getting many reps as a QB, it makes sense to try to get as much out of him as we can. And he's excited about it.
Sorry. Is Godfrey a season-ending thing?
No.
What is your health going out of this game? Do you know?
Well, we'll learn more about Ciale tomorrow. Some definitive things, or maybe Monday morning. Jared got banged up. Marcus Williams had to miss some time due to an injury. He was able to come back later in the game. But we got banged up pretty good, so we'll have to assess it Monday morning, tomorrow afternoon, Monday morning.
Coach, the stat sheet's very different than the one that played out on the field when you look at the final product. Is there a special appreciation you have for this team? The fact that we put you down in the fourth quarter, you talked about how they wanted to
Oh, yeah.
topic.
Without a doubt, I love these guys. I've coached about 280 games here. This is as fun a group as I've ever been around, and excited to go to work every day and go to practice with them. It's just a great group to be around.
Is that something that is just learned, the identity of the team as the season goes on?
Yeah, I think that you get an idea going in what you think you might, what type of team you might have and personality, but it really starts to take shape as you hit about mid-season, which is now.
Andy Phillips said he had this game circled because of what happened last year. He intended missing that field goal.
Yeah, he did miss one, and
For him to come through with two big field goals.
those were huge, especially the last one to make it a 2-score game.
This is the first time we've beaten them in Pac-12 play, or really in decades. Did you sell that point to the team?
Yeah, we did. We talked about that today. This is not this year, not this time, not at our place, and that was something that we definitely talked about.
Coach, what makes that ASU defense so good against the run? Is it the blitzing?
Yeah, they fill up every gap. I mean, they come, when they hit the gaps, they've got 8, 9-man fronts, and every gap is full. There's nowhere to put the ball, and they do a great job with their gap control. Everyone plays discipline in their gap, and they don't pop blocks or come out of gaps. And the way to beat them is, in the same way the SC beat them, is up the field. Get the ball out and try to beat them in the throw game.
So what came open in the fourth quarter when Booker was able to break off some big ones?
Just hit a couple of creases. I haven't seen the film. The option was on the far side of the field, and so was the power O, the one that he popped for a touchdown. So I'll have to look at the film and see what the difference was, but it was blocked up well, obviously.
Were you holding on to that option for a key point in the game? Is that something you thought might?
We've used it, in games past. It's not something that we make a living at, but it's something that we feel confident we can go to in certain situations. Yeah.
Is there a concerted effort to use behind the receivers? You had 11.
Did we use 11?
Take
No,
2
we got-
at, and how much caught?
Yeah, we got a lot of receivers that
Some guys we hadn't heard of.
like who? Ken Hampel, yeah, when Sally went down, Hampel came in, and what a story he is. He's been a walk-on for 3 years in the program now, just a tough kid, just never complains, all he does is work hard, and he's just every year just inched his way up the ladder, and now he's in a spot where he may be playing a lot. Great to see.
Anything else, Coach?